on yesterday, and I'm telling you, like, immediately, like, when you're tired and you've got that, like, heavy eyes, and it's just like, "Oh my gosh, I just wanna close my eyes." I had that before putting on my boost patch, and I was really tired. I was like, "Oh, I would love to just, take it down a notch today," but that doesn't happen. So I'm like, "Oh, I've got my boost patch." So I put it on, and almost immediately, that feeling in my eyes left. And I'm like, "Okay, all right. This is different." I didn't quite expect that. And at this point, like, I hadn't had coffee or, like, maybe a couple sips of it or whatever, but it wasn't a whole lot. Um, so then I felt more clear-minded, and it's not the type of, like, boost in your energy that it's like, bam, like, here I go. Kinda like, I don't drink energy drinks, but I kind of assume that that's kind of the way those are. It's like you drink it, and then all of a sudden you've got this jolt. Boost was just such an even energy boost. Like, it was just so gradual and just consistent and constant throughout the entire day. And throughout the afternoon, I never felt like, "Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I want another coffee," or, supplement or something like that to boost energy. Like, it wasn't a thought at all. And when it came to, like, going throughout my day, I felt focused, and I did not have my focus patch on because I had run out. So, I was like, "Okay, this is interesting too," like, I'm getting something more than energy with this. I'm getting that clarity in my mind. I'm getting that clear-mindedness where this is the next task. This is what I need to do next. And then I would just go about doing it. And then at one point last night, like, supper was a little bit later, and at the end of the night, like, after I've been out running the roads all day, taking kids to and from school, doing the errands, working in between, doing deliveries, whatever, massaging, like, I am done after supper. I don't even wanna do the dishes. Usually, sometimes they'll sit there, right? Not last night. I'm like, "What time is it anyway?" It was getting close to 8 o'clock, and I was still going. I'm like, "Okay, there is something to be said for this patch, and I cannot wait until I can have a full pack of them.
Right.
I can't wait."
That's awesome. So I've heard a few testimonies now, and that's just pretty much what everyone has said. It's like that kind of like sustained energy all day, getting so much more done, but not feeling
Yeah,
exhausted, and the clarity of mind. So that is really exciting to me because I think we all experience that kind of up and down through the day, trying to wake up and then we're good and then we're down and then we're up good and then so if we can have just a little bit more of a level energy, I think that would be really healthy for us.
absolutely,
Yeah, really good.
absolutely. And for me, I only ever drink 1 cup of coffee a day, and I brew it at home. So, like, I find, here in Canada, Tim Hortons is too strong. There are times when, yes, it's necessary, like driving to Montreal. I sure wish I would have had the boost then, but, um, I I don't like that because then I get that jitters, and I do not like that feeling in my body. It's, like, even hard to hold your hand still. It's just like you feel like you're vibrating. This wasn't like that. It was just such a clean energy boost that it was like, "Okay, this is exactly the way I want to feel naturally." How it's working within my body and within my brain, I don't know, but I truly don't care because I know it's safe. I know that it's natural. There's no drugs, there's no ingredients. I'm not gonna get the crash, and if I don't like, I did actually take it off last night before going to bed. I've heard some different people say that. So I just tested it last night for that reason. Um, and I was able to go to sleep and I felt great. And, you know, maybe when I get my full pack of patches, then I'll kind of play around with them a little bit more. But it was really incredible. I'm really, really grateful. I think that this is honestly going to be a big seller. I
Yeah.
mean, we all need energy, right? We are all working 28 hours a day and 24 hours, right? Like we're trying to do too much in the run of our lives now, and we're relying on things that are detrimental to our health.
Exactly.
And this patch is not detrimental to our health. None
Exactly.
of the patches are. They all help us correct the neural pathways and things like that that need to be corrected so we can function the best way our bodies know how.
Right. That's so cool. So I heard a story that you posted earlier today about something about walking and texting.
Yes. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it at all. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so um I had a customer that I've been kind of speaking with over the last couple days, and all I needed to do was just text her one word, and I'm like, "Okay, I got this." Like, I got out of my vehicle, I was going into Walmart, I was doing my thing, and I took a pathway that I typically don't ever, like, I always stick to just the drive or, like, to the parking lot. I never ever take the sidewalk. Well, I don't know why I did it today, but my foot caught the lip of the sidewalk and I went down. Like there was no stopping me. I didn't see it coming. Like phone flew out of my hands. I landed on my left knee, hands down. Very kind people around me, like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh yeah," pick myself right back up, like you saw nothing,
Right.
looking around, like, "Oh my gosh." Anyway, as I'm walking through Walmart, and I mean, yes, I do have other patches on. Thankfully, I've got peace on because I think that that kept me from, like, freaking out about how foolish I looked, and I did have, Freedom with me, but it was in the vehicle, and I didn't turn around to go back to the vehicle. I just went in, got my groceries, and then left. But as I'm walking along, I'm like, "Oh, that knee, that's kinda
Yeah.
hurting," you know, like,
Yeah.
it's sore, and I honestly I haven't iced it today, which I know better, I should have, and I will, but I've just been on the go and haven't had the opportunity to. So, I get home, and I put the Freedom Patch above my knee,
Mhm.
and I'm telling you, like, immediately, that achiness and that throbbing that I had in my leg, gone.
Right.
Gone. So, I'm like, "Thank goodness for these patches and that I have them in my medicine cabinet," right? Like, I didn't have to rely on an Advil or a Tylenol, like, the rest of my body doesn't hurt, you know, like, when you go down that hard, your whole body will ache, right? And I don't have that.
Mhm.
My back's not bothering me. I consistently wear either Victory or Liberty for those aches and pains, and I have nothing else. Nothing. My knee was aching and sore, but because of the Freedom Patch, I don't have any pain.
Yeah, I can't stress that enough. Like the freedom patches for pain, it's like I don't use them every day, but if something happens,
Right.
you don't have want to like put in an order and wait a few days for them to come in the mail. You want them right there, right now.
That's right.
Yeah, and
Yes.
that has happened to me multiple times where it's like, thank goodness I have some of these patches here. Because I actually just tweaked my back over the weekend, weeding of all things. I mean, it's such
Oh,
like an old lady thing. I was like, oh man, I'm too old, I'm too young for this. But yeah, I mean, it's like it really has helped me. I mean, it didn't take all the pain away because sometimes when you pinch a nerve, it's like, but it has
but it
helped.
takes the edge off, right?
Yeah,
Like
it
it
makes it
can
so you
take
can
that edge
function.
off and you can still function and you can still move.
Yeah.
And the more like when we're in, like I don't wear Freedom all the time either. If I feel like a headache or a migraine coming on, then I will put one on. And actually, I'll tell you another little quick testimonial about Freedom, specifically to when we were in Montreal for the leadership training. It was very heavy. It was a very intense, I mean, absolutely incredible training, but it was a lot.
Mhm.
And You know, I didn't sleep a whole lot, you know, Thursday or Friday because of traveling, and then you get to around your work family and you just wanna, you know, hang out and stuff like that. So, I'm sitting throughout the meeting and I'm starting to kinda, like, you know, go down in the sense of, like, energy levels, and my head's starting to kinda hurt, and I'm drinking water like crazy to just stay hydrated, and I did have another cup of coffee after lunch. But I put that freedom patch between my shoulder blades. I did not have to take an Advil, I did not have to take a Tylenol, and I did not get a headache.
Yeah.
It was incredible,
Yeah. Once the headache,
incredible.
if you have the headache, that seems to zap your energy too. So yeah, that's a good thing. It's really,
Oh, and for me, like, I have always had chronic migraines my entire life.
oh wow.
We do not claim to cure or anything like that, but for me, this is my personal testimony in terms of these patches, and they have absolutely changed my life. Typically, I can go without, you know, getting a headache or a migraine most days. But in a situation like that, like I said, it was a lot of learning. It was a lot of like different lighting, looking at screens, you know, back and forth to, you know, my notebooks and writing and, you know, so there was a lot of different things kind of going on. And I was starting to get one.
Mhm.
Had I not had my freedom patch, I would have ended up with a full-blown migraine,
Mhm.
just given the day, lack of sleep, things like that. And I didn't. So, I don't always use freedom, but I am sure thankful that I have it.
Right.
I really am.
And they, you know,
Yeah,
luckily I usually keep them with me just to share with people because, you know, you always
same.
people. So that's why I, you know, always usually have them on me some way or another because they're kind of our number one shareable patch because everyone's got like
Yeah,
an ache or a pain or something that's, you know, even more serious. And so, you know, you always want to help people out as much as you can. And, you know,
exactly. And in a drug-free way, like, how incredible is that, that we have something that, like, you know, even for my kids, the last couple days, like, my oldest son, we have a trampoline, and during his birthday party a couple weeks ago, they were a little bit too rough, so he didn't really say anything about his back, but just as time has gone on, like, his back has kinda bothered him, and I'm like, "Alright, freedom patch for you too."
yeah,
So, no complaints when he's got that freedom patch on.
yeah,
So they're safe for kids. Like, it's
absolutely.
incredible.
Yeah, it
Incredible.
is. It is. It is wonderful. So thanks so much for coming on today. It's always
You're
great to
welcome.
hear your testimonies and that, you know, I'm so excited about the boost too, because that's gonna be I mean, I would say that's probably one of the number one complaints of anybody between the ages of 25 and, you know, 55 or whatever. It's like, can I have
If
more
not
energy,
even older.
please? Yeah, and older, truly. But I mean, more energy, everybody wants more energy, and this is the safe
Absolutely.
most effective, beautiful way to do it. So I'm glad we're doing this together.
I know, it's so great, and it was so nice to see you again. I can't wait until, you know, the next time that we get to all get together again in person, but this right here is incredible. You know, we all have a story to share, and I feel like it is our responsibility to talk about these patches because people need to know that there's another option,
Absolutely.
right? So, yeah.
Thanks
So thank you.
thanks for coming on. All right. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye bye
Thanks,
now.
you too. Take care. Bye.